Now, my first business actually started really early in life. I was at the age of 13 when my dad walked into my room and gave me my first computer. And back then, I gotta tell you, computers were very different than they are today. They were these big, heavy, clunky things. And I honestly believe this thing was made out of iron or steel. It had to weigh like 35 pounds. And when you turned it on, you would peer into this really small green screen that had to be the size of like an old iPhone, right? and all that would pop up is this little tiny prompt. And later we would look at that as like the A prompt or the C prompt. And it really depended on how it booted up, either from a hard drive or a floppy disk drive. Mine booted from a floppy disk drive over to the side. And I remember as he dropped it on my desk, kind of saying to myself, what the heck am I going to do with this thing? And so I asked him that question, And as I asked him, he smiles and he walks out of my room. And he returned a few minutes later with like a stack of books. What kid wants that, right? And said to me something that I'm never going to forget. And he said, "Son, I'm sure you'll figure it out." And so began what was and has become my personal mantra: figure it out. When I would ask him to define a word, he'd tell me to go check the dictionary. When I would ask him about a historical figure or a certain topic, what'd he say? Go look in an encyclopedia or go to the library. And it was truly annoying. But I eventually stopped asking, which I think is what he wanted, and began figuring it out on my own. So I'm sure with that, you can probably tell why I've named this podcast Figuring It Out, because it represents my total approach to life.